Hey guys, welcome to the woods. I started talking and I didn't have my camera turned on. Awkward. Anyway, what I was saying to you when you weren't listening was that you never know when you sit down where, I put the camera down, I sit down, and then I'm like, what's behind me? Oh, now I see what's behind me. But anyway, so the little deer trail there, why can't I point? Deer trail going up that hill, and I just sort of thought to myself, it's kind of like I'm going to try to talk you into going up over that hill and you don't know what's on the other side. And I don't either. But let me say that where we're sitting now is going to flood. I feel like Noah in the ark. This is going to flood. You've got to go somewhere. Why not take the path? Most people have gone that path. Once you get up over that, it's a big open wide world and you'll go your own direction. The spiritual journey there's as many as there are people on the planet. No one's going to do it the same way. So you really, some point in time, you kind of got to, like yesterday's moth and caterpillar and the butterfly. Caterpillar, some point in time, has to say, I'm going to stop eating and just go within, and I don't know what I'm going to become. I don't know how it's going to go. I don't know what type of butterfly I am. I don't know how this all works. But you just surrender and say, you know what? It's just time to hang for a minute and trust. So this place is figuratively going to flood, and I want you to go up over the hill. So what are some nudges along that paradigm, if you will? Well, one, we know that technology is changing the planet so much. We already, between the way I thought about jobs, I've always worked for myself, so I'm kind of not a great example of that. But I never really had that sort of comfort of I can sit back and just be like, I got my job, I got my money, I got this whole thing all mapped out. So that makes things really tough if you've got everything all mapped out when there's big disruptors like what are going on now with the coronavirus. But I also felt like in the early 80s, I really got into my spiritual journey and into different religions, and I was raised Catholic, and I really kind of doubled down on that some points, but I also I got into really New Age stuff for a lot of time and a lot of years. And there's all kinds of people talking about all kinds of changes happening, and this whole concept of, the 24,000 years and the fact that the planet is rising in its vibration, and there'll be more, we'll be more spiritually connected to the collective consciousness, to the God source, to the light of divinity. Our soul will be more connected, and communication will be so much easier, and then we'll be so much more loving to ourselves. We'll feel the love. We won't be stuck down here behind the rules and trying to figure out this game from a paradigm of disconnection. And we went through a few thousand years of really being disconnected and running amok, and all kinds of nastiness happening on the planet. Not anybody's fault. It's just what happens when you're at that part of the galaxy. We had a lot of people on the planet who are in that part of the galaxy, because we've done this thousands and thousands and thousands of times. But we don't always have a planet full of people when we come around. So not that people haven't been here, but there's cycles going around 24,000 years. Sometimes there's not a lot of people, sometimes there are a lot of people. So this is a very magical time. The planet's coming up in its vibration. We're going to get all types of communications now, and all the gifts, the psychic, the channeling, the healing, the magic stuff that we used to read about, in the 80s is coming around. It's been coming around, but my point where I was sort of emphasizing it is that a lot has changed since then, and a lot has not changed. But there's some technology now that is part of the gifts when you come around into this, when you get more connected, when you're more tuned in, tapped in, turned on, then this stuff comes to you the same way it came to Einstein and Tesla. They're my two poster childs for people that just came in with information. But if you're into music, then you'd say Mozart and Beethoven. They came in and they just knew this stuff already. They just came in and spit it out to us. They didn't work hard at it. Einstein only worked hard at sort of putting it into a mathematical formula so we could run with it and apply it places. But he had the whole concept way more than he gave us. He had an understanding of what was really going on. But here's my point. What is my point? There's some cool tricks out there now that you might be enticed, might be what makes you want to go up over the hill. One is when I was training mountain biking, they had heart straps, and you could do your heart rate, and when you're training, that was always good to know where your heart rate zones were and things like that. But then they went into heart rate variability, And it's like, oh, well, your heart rate may go high and it may go low, but the space between the heartbeats is an indicator of the vibration of your whole being. It's like your soul energy. You know, it's your aura, your whatever. They can see all that now. The technology, they can measure it. They can put it to colors. They can see the chakras, the energy points spinning, just like they have in all the ancient drawings and stuff like that. So we've got all that stuff down, and we know that the variability of the heart rate, the wave between the heartbeats, has to be synchronistic with your brain. It really is feeding the brain, so it makes the brain say, you're in fear mode, so we're in fight or flight, so thinking is not going to be your gift. Digestion is not going to be your gift. Healing your body is not going to be happening for you. You're going to fall apart. Because why? Because your heart rate is in a frequency of fear. So your mind looks for fearful things and says, I know what the frequency of love is, and this isn't it. We're not relaxed right now. Let's not even say love, just say relaxed. And so your mind is going to fixate on what is fearful, what's wrong. And you look at people, the ones who are more fearful are really, they can rattle off the things that are wrong. Like, I can't find anything that's wrong. I can, but I try not to. But some people who are so racked in fear, they're like, well, how do you know? Where do you get the time to spend all this time sort of figuring out what's wrong around you? So if you're focusing on things wrong around you, it's a good indicator that your vibration, just saw a bluebird go by, that your vibration, your frequency between your heartbeats, your variability as they call it, is out of sync. It's got to not only be in sync with your body, but there's a synchronicity of the whole planet. We can see the same aura around the planet. The vibrational field is out there, and it carries a resonance as it goes around the galaxy. It changes, as we talked about, but right now you need to be in resonance with the whole vibration. Kind of like two girls, or women get together and then they get in resonance with each other, and the next thing you know, they're having their periods together and stuff. They get into cycles together, and we got to be in cycles with our days, and we got to be in cycles with our food, and that's not a new concept. The same thing is your heart. So now you can measure that, and you can work on getting that score to go up, where you learn to relax with biofeedback. Biofeedback's a great tool. It can train up your brain in no time. And then the other one is that Muse headset that I got, which is goes across your forehead, hooks behind your ears, and it reads your like EEG, and it goes onto your phone, and it trains you on how to relax your body. And the cool thing is, it's like, well, exactly what they told you to do before you got the headset. You really don't need it. It's only a couple $100 though, and it's kind of fun. But anyway, is you got to be conscious of your body and your breath, and you've really just got to stay with the breath. And the longer you can do that, then you got to slow it down, and you slow down that breath, and the breath and the heart and the lungs are right there together. So if your lungs have a funny variability too, it's like you got to slow it all down, and then it's like, okay, now my heart can relax, and it says, okay, hey, all systems, we're out of fight or flight mode. We're out of fear. So it gives your body a second to do that. And you can feel the difference. And then you get trained in it. You go farther and farther. And you just, next thing you know, you don't need any gizmos on you anymore. You go about your day and you're like, oh, wait, I'm feeling a little funky. Let me go into my breath. Let me get conscious for a second here. And let me slow down and re-ground myself and recenter myself. Get tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Connect to my higher self. Connect to my soul. Whatever you want to, however you want to do it. Like I said, when you go over the hill, there's as many different people there are on the planet. There's different ways to do this journey. But there's some tools now that are cool. And I'm just trying to give you some sort of concept of let me grab up my backpack and all my stuff and go up over that hill, because it's going to flood here. And I'm not like trying to be some kind of messenger or something, but I just really feel for people that are really struggling. There's a lot of people that are are really suffering, and I feel like the changes, they're suffering because of the changes and the fear of things changing. And I'm like, change is coming. Things are not going to be the same after this event, but there's going to be more events to cause more changes, because change is coming. You can see it on the trajectory. the amount, how fast things change in the past, and time seems to be going faster and faster. They say that's one of these components of this 24,000 years. There's portions of the planet where we move faster, literally, and time seems to go faster, and your sense of what an hour is changes. So it's like, yeah, your clock still runs the same, everything's also the same, still spin around in the circle, and the winter, summer is all the same. But it's all just happening faster conceptually to our minds. And anyway, so change is coming. And the paradigms of what we thought was security are not going to be there anymore. But we're going to pick up new security. Where are you going to get the mental aptitude to focus on the good things, to know what to pick up and say, that feels good, that feels good. You got to get some emotional intelligence going. You got to get your psychological house in order, and your mental health in order. But it's not going to be just a matter of like, let me go see a therapist. It's like, you got to go within. There's no getting by anymore. You've got to find that love vibration. You got to know how to pull yourself back and say, no matter what's going on around me, the change is happening, and I can feel sometimes all the blessings of that change, and I get so excited about it. Let me go back to that, because right now I feel fear, and I'm feeling funky, and you get sensitive to that. Which side are you on, and how do I pull myself back to be more grounded and loving myself? And my little Danny body is scared, and he wants me, my heart and mind, to take control of the situation here and say, as crazy as it is for you walking out there in the world, you're not being attacked. You're not about to get hit by a bus. I do not need to waste all my bandwidth of my body burning off all these chemicals, trying to be ready for the bus to come hit me. It's like, it's not coming. And if it does, I'm not any better off carrying the fear of it first. So just let it be, let it go. Let go, let God. There's a reason those kinds of things stick. It's like, you go within or go without. So that's my nudge today, to say, you know what, it's a fun journey. There's a lot more fun tools out there, and just go, YouTube's a great place to sort of look this stuff up. And anything that seems fearful or seems like, here's what's going wrong, let me tell you what to watch out for, just turn it off and go to the next one. And you'll find people that are like, I like the way this person says it. It's not going to be the same people for me necessarily, but we both feel what feels funky and fearful. But you're going to feel that better as time goes on, because you'll become more sensitive as you become conscious of the variability, the resonance between the wavelength between the two heartbeats. Like, I have two hearts, not two hearts beating between your heartbeats, and the well, what would you call it, this Muse headset? It just really does birds chirping when you're in alignment, and your emotional awareness will be so much more open at that point, and you will become more sensitive. But better than being more sensitive, you'll be so much more intelligent. You'll have all this not wasted energy can then be used to really get a sense of what's going on. And now you're a person who's got bandwidth left over. It's got energy to say, not only am I going to survive these changes, I'm going to thrive in these changes. Then you're like, I'm not only going to thrive in these changes, I'm going to create these changes. I'm going to co-create, and I'm going to have an influence. I know I have an influence on the collective consciousness. I know my soul, when it's in its love vibration and I let fear go, that I'm a whole different animal now. That's that difference between the caterpillar and the butterfly. Now I'm in sync with my body. I know my emotions. I'm good to myself. I take care of myself, and I protect myself, but not in a fear-based way. I protect myself by saying, you know what? We've always made it before. We're going to make it again. We want change. We want things to be different. This isn't better for... There's a lot of people that are needing things to change. So just because I'm comfortable, you can't say, well, I'm comfortable, I want to stay where I am. Nope, you're going into change. Join everybody else who's struggling. It's going to be a change. It's going to be tough. But we're at 14 minutes, 30 seconds, and I'm really trying to keep these at 15 minutes. So what do I have to say for a closing thought? Life's short. You came from all-knowing, loving God source, and you're on this short time on earth, and you're going back. pull down some of that love vibration, work on that connection. But you've got tools now. You gotta shed the fear. That's your block. And so it keeps anything from coming in, and you waste all your energy in like worrying and festering, and your body will just literally get sick from it. There's no two ways about it. We've been saying that for 50 years. Your mind has a big part on how your body's health is, how well it has, its coherence with its planet around you. You got to come into sync. You got to slow down. You got to stop trying to do. And anyway, I've gone over 15 minutes now. I love you guys, and I know that so many people are on that journey already. So I'm really kind of preaching to the choir here, but I'm just applauding. Keep going. Keep going. You're doing a great job. All right. Talk to you soon.